Well, look, North America and international, which is how Pepsi tends to talk about the business, have both held up pretty well, right? You think about the international business being more snacks, and you mentioned China, that business actually grew quite nicely in the quarter, despite the lockdowns that we've seen. So the ability to navigate different environments and to price to the consumer and what the consumer wants and needs is actually looking pretty good, again, with the exception of Europe. So the international business and the North America business are actually holding up okay, right? As it pertains to currency, Pepsi has this unique dynamic where they have actually relatively higher Russia exposure. Given the ruble strengthened, that has actually offset some of the weakening that we've seen in currencies elsewhere. But look, like the strengthening of the US dollar over the past 2 weeks is significant. Some weighted average dollar indices are up 4% over the last 2 weeks. That's a really big move, right? So we're going to have to see how multinational earnings play out in the coming weeks, who have a little bit less of that ruble exposure. But certainly that's going to be a headwind for the entire space that we're going to have to monitor over the next couple weeks of earnings.
Chris, do you think they're going to get any pushback from their distributors in terms of increasing prices? Because there has been a little bit of chatter in that regard.
Certainly, yeah, no, it's a great question. Certainly, Walmart and Target earnings have put the spotlight on the ability of consumer packaged goods companies to pass through higher pricing. So far, so good. But Pepsi has contemplated taking additional rounds of pricing into the Q4, specifically around the fall period. We didn't get too much detail on that today. I suspect part of that is planned as retailer sensitivity to increased pricing is starting to pick up. But so far, what we've seen is that consumables categories, that's consumer staples categories, have held up okay from a pricing standpoint, more so than other discretionary, more durable categories where they're getting more pushback from the retailers. But overall, the pricing environment is going to evolve over the next 2 to 4 quarters to getting something back to normal. Normal meaning pricing is always difficult, and you have to have a reason to come to pricing. A portfolio like Pepsi's has quite a bit of pricing power and products that are important on shelf, so they'll have a better position or be in a better position to take pricing. But certainly, again, this is one of those things that we're definitely all going to be watching pretty closely over the next 2 to 4 quarters.